Hi friends, today we'll discuss few important questions taken from the previous exams. These questions are taken from the POs bar clerical exams. Which of the following banks has launched Home Utsav, a virtual property exhibition that digitally shows real estate projects by renowned developers from key cities across the country? ICICI Bank launched Home Utsav. What is meant by Home Utsav? ICICI Bank announced the launch of Home Utsav, a virtual property exhibition. Normally, you want to see a property exhibition, physically you will go to the some exhibition center where all major developers they'll display their ventures. So physically you have to go there and you have to verify the projects and you have to identify suitable flat for you. But ICICI Bank launched Home Utsav, where exhibition is available for everyone, including ICICI Bank customers and non-ICICI Bank customers also. They can digitally they can see the properties and they can select without going to the exhibition center. It offers them enhanced convenience as they can simply borrow through this project online. So when you select the project, even loan can be taken online from the comfort of their home and office. Sitting in your home and office, you can select your venture and you can select your flat and you can get the loan online itself. So you have venture, you can see online and you can select the flat virtually, you can see, and loan also applied through online. QIP is as its core a way for listed company to raise capital without having to submit legal paper to market regulators. Majorly used in India and other South Asian countries. What does QIP stand for? QIP means Qualified Institutional Placements. Companies wants capital, they can go for the IPO, then get money from the market, or they can approach QIBs, Qualified Institutional Bidders. To get a money from QIBs, you need a Qualified Institutional Placement. Listed companies. So who can go for the QIP? Listed companies. Listed company means the company that is included in a stock market, company that is included in a stock exchange, so that its stock can be traded, sell or buy. So these companies they can go for the QIP. For example, you can see Tata Steel. Yes, Tata Steel and ITC is trading on Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. You can buy ITC Tata shares or you can sell. These companies only go for QIP. Non-listed company that is not listed on this any stock exchange. For example, in my example, I have taken KIMS Hospital. So you can't buy or sell KIMS Hospital shares on any stock exchange. So these are unlisted companies. So unlisted companies they can't raise capital through QIP. QIP are Qualified Institutional Placement is largely a fundraising tool for the listed companies. Only listed companies can use the QIP to raise the capital. QIP is a process which was introduced by SEBI so as to enable the listed companies to raise finance through the issue of securities to qualified institutional bidders. So through QIP you will get money from the QIBs, Qualified Institutional Bidders. For example, if you see a company shareholders pattern, you can see like you received capital from the promoters, foreign institutional investors, public. So you can see the shareholder pattern. In that you can see the QIBs like big corporates, Government of Singapore. For this company, they have taken money from the Government of Singapore, Government Pension and Fund Global. They have taken through QIP. So QIP is speedy execution. If it is IPO, then it takes minimum 6 months to 1 year. Sometimes it may take more than 1 year also. For the QIP, speedy execution, cost efficiency. If you go for the IPO, it may be 5 to 10% cost on your capital, but QIP, it will be very less. Access to long term capital, you will get the long term capital through QIP. Example of qualified institutional buyers. Scheduled commercial banks are QIBs, mutual funds, foreign institutional investors registered with SEBI, venture capital funds registered with SEBI, foreign venture capital investors registered with SEBI. These people can invest their money into listed companies through QIP. These people are called qualified institutional bidders. These people can invest in any listed company through QIP process. Which entity hold 51% of shares in IDBI Bank? This ICICI holds 51% of shares in IDBI Bank. I have taken the shareholding pattern. If you see the shareholding pattern, in shareholding pattern you can see promoter, FIIs, public, others. If you see the promoters, LIC holding 49% and President of India holding 45%. So, LIC having major share in IDBI Bank. The Reserve Bank of India has set up 5-member internal working group held by its central board director Prasanna Kumar Mohanty, which also will be the present regulations or holding of financial subsidiaries through a NOFSC. In NOHFC, what does O stands for? What is NOHFC? Non-operative financial holding company. So O means operative. A Reserve Bank of India panel on private banks has backed the constitution of non-operative financial holding company as the preferred structure set up new universal banks. The Reserve Bank may frame suitable regulations and bank must fully comply within the 2 years. Non-bank subsidiaries are firms owned by the bank holding companies which offer non-bank products and services such as insurance and investment advice and do not offer Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation insured bank products such as check-in and savings account. So these institutions, they can't issue a liability products like savings account. You can see the hierarchy. Holding company, intermediate company, then you have NO, FHC. Under that, they have banking business, they have insurance business, they have asset management business, and they have FS subsidiary also. Which of the following is a major objective of the recently created Payment Infrastructure Development Fund from RBI? Creation of physical and digital wallets, deploying points of sales, promotion of UPI payments. Payment Infrastructure Development Fund has been created to encourage development of point of sale infrastructure, both physical and digital, in 3-tier to 6-tier centers of northeastern states. So, Payment Infrastructure Development Fund has created to encourage the POS machines, point of sale machines. So when you go to any shop, you have purchased something, you want to pay the bill through a card, then vendor having a POS machine, you have to swipe your card and automatically money will be transferred from your account to vendor account. The setting of PIDF is in line with the measures proposed by the vision document on the payment and settlement system in the 2019-21. So during this payment, you need a settlement from one organization to another organization. It is also in line with RBI's proposal to set up acceptance Acceptance Development Fund, which will be used to develop card acceptance infrastructure across small towns and cities. So, RBI proposal to develop card acceptance infrastructure across small and medium cities. So, if you are holding a card, you want to swipe the card, then you need a POS system. So, RBI using this fund to develop the POS machines. Increasing payments acceptance infrastructure by adding 30 lakh touch points, 10 lakhs physical and 20 lakhs digital payment acceptance devices every year. With this fund, yearly 30 lakhs touch points will be developed. What is digital payment? An electronic payment. Transfer of money from one payment account to another using a digital device such as a mobile phone, POS or computer, a digital channel communication such as mobile wireless data or SWIFT. Without use of paper currency, then your transaction will be called as digital payment. If you are paying money to a shopkeeper or giving to other person through UPI or bank cards or Aadhaar enabled payment or through mobile wallet, these payments will be called as digital payments because physical cash is not involved. If you are giving 100 rupees note when you buy a fruits or when you buy a item from a shop, if you are giving 100 rupees note, this is physical payment transaction. If you are paying through debit card, credit card, through internet banking, through POS machine, these will be called as digital payments. No paper currency involved in these transactions. Payment Infrastructure Development Fund improve the POS machines, infrastructure, debit cards to the customers through this fund. In consultation with Government of India, the Reserve Bank of India has increased the Ways and Means advance for the second half of the financial year 2021, that is October 2020 to March 2021 to 1,25,000 crores. The Reserve Bank of India gives temporary loan facility to the central and state governments. This loan facility is called Ways and Means advances. So that amount was 1,25,000 crores, which small financial bank launched 3-in-1 account. Account contains savings, trading and demat. So Equitas Small Financial Bank launched 3-in-1 account. So what is a 3-in-1 account? One is savings account. So when you go for the 3-in-1 account, they will open 3 accounts for you. One is savings account, another one is trading account and third one is demat account. Savings account will be for your fund transfer and they will issue a debit card to a savings account, internet banking, mobile banking, checkbook facility, and this savings account will be used for the cash withdrawal, cash payment. Same time, when you buy a shares, amount will be debited from your savings bank account. If you sell the shares, amount will be credited to your savings bank account. Second one will be trading account. Trading account will be buy and sell of your shares, mutual funds, securities. Trading account will be used. Demat account, how the physical currency or how your money is credited to your savings bank account, same way the securities and shares will be credited to your demat account. For example, if you are buying 10 shares of Reliance, 5 shares of Tata Steel, these shares will be credited to demat account. So 3-in-1 account. For example, you want to buy a ITC share and you want to sell a ONGC share. So you have a 3-in-1 account. You have a savings account, you have a trading account and you have a demat account. In demat account, so you want to sell ITC shares, first you should have ITC shares. So your ITC shares will be there in your demat account. Your money will be there in your bank account. So first transaction will be buy ITC shares. So you buy 100 ITC shares and one share is 215 rupees. So you have to pay 21,500 rupees. So 21,500 rupees will be debited to your savings bank account. 100 ITC shares will be credited to your demat account. Same way, you are holding ONGC shares. You want to sell the ONGC shares. So you are selling 100 ONGC shares. The price is 116 rupees 60 paisa. So amount will be 11,660 rupees. So 100 ONGC shares will be debited from your demat account and 11,660 rupees will be credited to your savings bank account. So this is called 3-in-1 account. So you can see the sample trading account. In trading account you can see the which company share you buy or sell, what is the transaction reference number, script code, what is the company name, when you are traded, what is the time, what is the quantity, what is the price you are traded, everything you can see in your trading account. Money will be there in your savings account and shares will be there in your demat account. Trade transaction will be available in your trading account. Next question. The Asian Development Bank ADB and the Government of India signed a 231 million loan to augment electricity generation capacity in which state? Assam. Functions of Asian Development Bank: to make loan and equity investment for economic and social development of its developing members countries. So few countries will be members of Asian Development Bank. So for their development, ADB will give loans to them. To provide for technical assistance for the preparation and implementation of development projects and advisory services also will be given by the ADB for their members. Headquarters located in Philippines, established in 19th December 1966. In order to promote financial literacy among customers and to provide access to formal financial services in an affordable manner, the Reserve Bank of India has released a national strategy for financial inclusion 2019-24. It also suggested making the public credit registry fully database of credit information of borrowers operated by March 2022. What is financial inclusion? Providing financial solutions to the economically underprivileged. Provide credit to valuable groups such as weaker sections and low income group at a reasonable cost. Loans will be provided without any security. Financial inclusion means those people not using the banking services, convert them to use the banking services. This is called financial inclusion. Products under financial inclusion: PMJDY, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. So you will get benefit under PMJDY. People start using banking services. They open savings account using Atal Pension Yojana. So because of these schemes, previously those not using the banking services now started using the banking services. Thank you friends. If you like my video, please subscribe and share with your friends also.